Hey, hey, who's got two thumbs and has been up since 3 o'clock this morning? This guy. So you can't see me. Now imagine I'm pointing my thumbs at myself. That's what I'm doing, pointing my thumb. You know what? Doesn't matter. Hey, it's KFW. I'm here to play the Artisan of Glimmith. I'm really super tired, but the choice is try to get some more sleep or play this game. And I have obviously chosen correctly. So we've done quite a lot. We've bejeweled several windows at the beginning part of the game. We can move on here to the forest trailhead if we like. We can push on to this area with the palisades, which is not my favorite rule. Or we can move on to the match area, which is definitely not my favorite rule. Do you want to see another crash out? I could do some puzzles here. How many more are left? There's 3 more. Jeez. I well, first of all, I have committed to 100%ing this. Uh, to myself, committed that, so I'm doing these puzzles eventually. And I keep coming back with the hope that I find a puzzle that uses the rule that's here, the match rule, just in case you haven't seen this. Match all regions but set the same shape. I keep coming back thinking I'm going to see a puzzle and I'm going to go, wow, this rule is used really well and the puzzle is interesting. I genuinely have that hope and I get disappointed every time. So I don't want to do that this video. I don't actually want to do that. I think that I'm already, low on patience, and today especially. So let's do something that I like, which is these puzzles over here. These are just going to be a collection of things from the rules we've seen up to this point. We've actually seen every rule because I've beaten the regular game, but like, early game rules. So we got polyominoes, rose windows, a lot going on here. Every region contains exactly one. Okay. So I was just processing what I'm looking at because there's a lot of symbols here. Now, obviously, every single one of these symbols has to be part of a rose window. But these symbols can't be the entire map. There's only one. Yeah, I think this symbol has to go. Let me count the number of symbols here. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 of those symbols, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, we have 12 circles here and 1 circle there. So this circle in the top left corner has to cover everything that these don't. So what could I just do this? No, I can't do that. I was thinking, what if I just made all of them vertical? I can't do that because this blocks that section off. So I definitely have to make this one move leftward. This one could move down. Is there any other place that blocks? This would cause a blockage, so I can't do. See how this circle is now trapped in this upper left corner, so I can't do that. So this one moves left or right. This one could move. This would move left just fine. I just know that that can't be the case. Or rather, this can't be the case. Well, which would mean that that can't be the case. This is going to be, we're going to make it purple. We're going to make the opposite color over here. Purple is going to be our through road here. Let's make it a lighter purple. There you go. Just make it easier to see the walls we've drawn, and it's easier to distinguish from the green, at least to me. I don't know. Maybe you're colorblind watching this, in which case none of this is distinguishable. I'm very sorry. That's just how the game is. So this is fine. This is also fine. Okay, let me look for another. This would block something in, so I definitely can't do that. This can't move left, so I guess, yeah, this has to move down. This will have to move. This can't move down. Now it's still blocked again, so we're going to move this left. So down. Oh, so down. Which way do we go with these? Not sure yet. This one. Got a few options. This would, okay, that's blockage. Can't do that. So now that's required. Let's see. Do we have any more blockages? This is a blockage where that traps everything in. So we've got to bring that down, which means this is down and these are solved. All right, the rest of it should be, oops. Can I just do one of these? Yeah, cool. I like that puzzle. I think it was on the easier side But again, I am functioning right now on very low sleep. So it took me a little longer to pick up what I was supposed to be doing there. But I do like it. I like what we're supposed to figure out in that puzzle. Uh, let's save the more difficult ones for later. Let's try to hit easy ones I've missed from before, if there's any of those. Like, how many do we got? 6 more puzzles, we make that window gold. I also found out between videos, I'm going to take a break. This whole video is so unfocused. This whole series is unfocused. Deal with it. So over here with the perfected windows, this game has been upgraded to show your progress. I didn't know what the hell was going on with this, why there's 3 different colors here. Well, red, these podiums, these puzzles, did not appear until we had finished the end game puzzle, which was here, which I thoroughly detested. I don't. I'm going to make a distinction here. I detest the match puzzles because I think they're bad. I just detest this one because I just don't like the combination of rules, but I don't think there's anything wrong with it. But I still really dislike that puzzle. But anyway, over here, once you finish that puzzle I disliked, you get these access to these ones. But then I didn't know why there were white and yellow puzzles. Let's just call them gold. I think, based on what I was doing out off this video, not on this file, just looking around, white puzzles are available basically from the beginning. There's the progress is gated. You finish the puzzle before it unlocks the next one. The gold puzzles are all unavailable until you make the window that it's attached to, I think at least silver. Then they unlock. They're the puzzles that allow you to make the window gold. I think that's what it is. Anyway, let's head back. I know you were all really, really hoping I would explain that, so you're welcome. Let's grab some 3s. They're nice and easy. I think I can handle 3s this time in the morning. Rose windows, Gemini. Alright, so this is the same shape, that's the same shape. Do we have any obvious moves here? Well, rose windows means there has to be a shape coming out of here. Now we've got to touch a circle. Now we have a couple circles we can touch with this square. We can't touch this one because it's on the same side, or both sides of the same border. We can go straight up here, which would require this to be an I shape, which could be here. That I shape is fine. It couldn't be that one. We could also make an L shape, which would make an L shape here. Looks like we have 2 options. It doesn't really narrow it down for me. They don't all have to be the same shape. It's not a match type of thing. We can make any shape we like. We just have to make sure the Geminis are the same. Is there anything I can do? Well, up here with this circle here. Now this square, no matter which direction it goes, it's going to touch a circle, right? This circle can't touch a square unless it goes at least 2 spaces, which means this square has to go at least 2 spaces, so it can't touch that circle. It's got to touch this one down here. Let's make it a different color than that. And then it can't bend left. So it can move straight, and then it's trapped, can't go anywhere. It can move right, and then it's trapped. Now, if it moves right, this one is forced to be a straight line. We now have a problem. We can also make a T shape here if we wanted. We can't make that shape work. So we have to make this a straight line, which means this one is either that direction or that direction. We can't make can't make a T shape because we can't make the Gemini thing a T shape. So the question is, now if we bring this to the right, this one also has to be a straight line shape, which is totally possible. It's a bit riskier, but it's possible. So for sure we have to go here, and I think we have to be done. I don't think we can move this shape anywhere else. Any spot there is going to double up a symbol. This spot here makes the shape is impossible there. So we're going to say that's done, which means that is done. That means we got to have somebody living up here. And it's going to bring down to this circle. Now this square, we have a similar issue down here. Now if I put this circle attached to the square below it, I would be done with the shape. But then the shape above with the square would also have to be a domino, which is not allowed. So, because it would have to touch a circle. So we know it's going to go this way. It's going to be blocked like so. That is, in fact, going to make a domino down here. as well as one up there, by the way. So now this shape could be a straight line, because we could put a straight line here. This is going to be interesting. I think I'm screwed. I think I do have to come up with something better than this. Well, see, I'm now looking up here. This circle, if I touch that, there's no way. There's no way to make an L shape here, because then I'd have to make an L shape here, which doesn't work. So it has to touch that guy. But now how do I make a shape there? What other square could this touch? It's got to be that, which is bad. That's bad, no. But if I do this, I have to make this shape, and now this fella doesn't work anywhere. That can't happen, that can't happen. Making this doesn't work because I can't bring that out. That obviously doesn't work. Now I still have that. I wish I could bring the green out a little more, but no, I can't because the red can't go out anywhere. What if this goes down instead? That's probably what it is, and now I don't have to worry about it. No, now I have to deal with this. This got to touch a circle somewhere. So we got to bring this. I could have an elbow shape here just fine. I got to have the similar shape in this spot. So if I make an L shape here, I would have to make an L shape there. Right? L shape. This is an L shape, but now it has a problem. It can't be that. So it has to be here or there. Well, this would make an S shape, and that's not going to be an S shape, so it would be here. This still causes a problem for the one down here, so let me see. Can't do that. A P shape makes this break. This would cause a real big problem. I can't grab this one here. It still requires the L, but now I have quite a bad shape there. Let me think about it. This one has to be at least 3 spaces. This one will be at least 4 spaces. If I think about this square touching, for example, that spot. See, I can't make the red any more than this straight line. That is forced. So the green either has to be a straight line going down or across. Going across forces a straight line here. Right? We've covered this already. This isn't even a hard puzzle. I'm just so sleepy. I think I'm just incapable. This forces one here. That's bad because we leave an orphan space there. So that is where we end up. There's 2 circles and 1 square. So no, we definitely have this going on. How about in here? Does this help me? Oh, hold on. I see it. It's just a matter of flipping the L. So we do have an L in this shape, and then we flip the L. Nope, that's not how we do it. We flip the L this way. Sleepy brain, wake up. And now we can do it with elbows. Like that. And then I think L's the rest of the way is going to work. Yeah, that's it. There we go. I'll figure it out eventually. Here, let's take this 4. Precision 5, mingle shape polyomino. All regions must have area of exactly 5. Well, we see that with the polyominoes. Okay, these 3 are all touching each other, so they've all got to be part of the same F shape. So this is one way. This is a way. This is a way. That's a way. There's quite a few. These are all different shapes. I think the the W is forced. We can't move to the left for any reason whatsoever. So I think that's just taken care of. T has multiple ways to go, but we can't use this one because it creates an orphan cell. So it's got to be that. Which means the F shape can't move to the right. Am I stupid? I'm stupid. It can move to the right. I just used the same color for here. I'm gonna make this easier. It's just, I was like, no shape can touch each other. Nope, neighboring shape regions just have different shapes. Wake up. So that means these three all got to touch. So we could bring it down this way or up this way or a mix of the two. These cannot touch each other. So how to make an F shape? I can't bring it this direction because it would have to bend. So it's got to come this way and then be like that. So our T shape here is forced to go that direction. So now with this F shape, if I bring it up this way, we have 6 spaces up there. That's a no-no. This way has 9 spaces. It's another no-no. This is 8 spaces. I don't think I can block it at all. I think I'm going to have to do that, but I'm not 100% sure. So this C shape now, we have quite a few arrangements of it. That's one. That's one. It's those 3. This way, or that way, or this way. There is no single cell that is seeing all 3 of them. How about let's look down here. We've definitely got an L shape. And then we're going to have an F shape. Let's put the L shape in orange for today. This has to be, there's just nothing else that fits in this spot. So it is going to force the W up. This would force a P shape. If we didn't have that, we would have a Y shape. But either way, these 4 got to be taken by the same fella. How many spaces? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 14, 15 spaces here. So 15 cells, not like before we cross this spot. Right? I've got 8 cells in this spot. 11, 13, 14, 15. This W is going to take 1 more space. This C is going to take 4 more. So that's 5 spaces. That leaves 10 spaces that aren't covered by any pieces we see. That's 2 additional pieces. So how could I fit them in? If I made the W move this way... Well, actually, if I made the W move this way, the C shape would have to create a bunch of orphans. So that's the answer there. So we do have a P shape here. And now the C shape's got to be that. We got another F shape. Let's make sure I'm right. We can't have them touch each other, though. Which means you have it that way. So we have a Y shape. This has to either be an L or a C shape. That's what we got. Which means this space doesn't belong to either. Now if I bring it up from the F piece, it forces that, so we're really in trouble. So this isn't part of the F piece. This is a different fella, which means it comes down around, which means this is a C shape. And this is an L shape. So this is how we do this. We got a Y shape, got another L shape, and then we got a P shape, which has been gifted to us. So I like that. Nice, good puzzle. It's amazing how much work they take when you're stupid. Precision 6, mingle shape. All right, sextominoes are a little trickier. Like tetrominoes, pentominoes, I've done enough puzzles to sort of know what they are. These, not as many, so it's going to be a little trickier. Let me start down this corner. We got these 3 spots. It is not guaranteed that they go into that cubby. We could have a different piece come out here and then have the other one. So let me just get some pieces started that I know have to take a certain amount of space. This can never go that far. Actually, if I were to block this, right, put a wall there, make it easier to see the wall. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I block in, so I actually do have to move this piece in. Let's just make this the orange one. I think the same issue happens here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so we gotta do that. Same there, this would make a new section. Yeah, so these all have to be part of the same unit. Either that way or that way, we're not totally sure. But one of these 2 is now a different piece. That means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is how it's going to go. Is that right? That doesn't feel right. right? I need a 6 shape that doesn't touch here for a second, right? I can't touch there, this spot, or both of those, right? So one of those 2 spaces could be orange, and these 2 definitely have to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it doesn't have to take all the other spaces, but again, we can't, because it's 1, 2, we just end up without being able to fill in. So that's for sure. Same. We've worked out that. Yeah, it seems like these 5 have to be. Which could be, which feels to me like we have an issue with multiple solutions, right? Because this solution here is valid and it ends here, but if I swap these, it's the same, you get the same thing. I don't like that. So either the game designer's messed up and there's 2 ways to do this, or I've done something wrong here, but I can't see what I've done wrong here. So I'm going to ignore it. I don't know what's wrong with that. A little harder in this spot. If I were to bring a separate piece out here, that would be, we would force... It could go here or there, actually. It doesn't matter. If it went here, it would have to go down, but it doesn't actually solve my issue. Yeah. It really, I keep thinking this is the one I have to work on, but like, all right, if I bring orange to this spot, no matter what I do, I don't have enough spaces down here. There's no way to do it. Like this is, oh, I've used all 6, but now I have this. So I cannot bring it to that space. I have to do it all in here. But I have to do it without leaving orphan spaces. If I put a wall there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we're trapped. Therefore that goes. This, same deal. Don't have enough space, same deal. Don't have enough space, we can't do it. So these are all one unit, but now how do I make sure it's... All right, whatever. Let's just build it and then see what happens. So this is 6 spaces. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, okay, that's how we do it. Let's bring that out. We gotta have a different 1, 2, 3. Which way does this one go? I know that's done, but like this one here isn't done. This is fine. This isn't because it's mingle shape, which means we can't do this. So we have to take this space. If we don't take that space, we've got the mingle shape happening. So we can go here. Well, we can't take that space. We could take this one though. If we can't take this space, it's a different piece. Which means it comes out. And does it take that, or does that? It can be part of this one. Nope, can't. These have to be 2 different pieces. Great. Which means this does need to move out, so does that. This has to move out again. This has to move out again. So we do have to bring this down, which means if we bring that over, we can't bring that over. Let's swap this now. That's not teal. This is light blue. These are now really close together. You're blue now. You're whatever. I'm trying to make them look different. So one of these 2's got to be the blue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can't put the cyan here because then the blue would have to go there. So we know that's got to be blocked. So cyan's got to go that way. Now this blue down here can't be different from the red because we don't have anything. So this all has to be part of the red. And then we definitely can't take that spot. We're not sure otherwise. We can't take this one either. So we do have to make this shape. which means if we want to have a shape which is different, we can't go up that way. We have to go this way. Cool. So how do I... Okay, the blue can't move this way. It doubles the shape. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. One space for the yellow, one for the red. How do I not duplicate the shapes? Don't know. I don't 6-tom those enough. If I move this down and up, and then this one up, will they be different shapes? No. So this has to go big old L shape, and then this has to go here. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I accept that puzzle. I struggle. How many more for gold? I'm going to try to do without hitting the 4s and 5, or the 5s and 6s if I can help it. Polyomino rose windows. Great. Great. We have the triomino bits here, as well as elbows. Well, they're all triominoes. Okay, this square has to move out into an elbow and then go up or down. That much is easy to see. This space also has to do the same thing, but a little bit easier to tell what direction it goes from there because there's only one way to hit the circle. Now this one's going to need to be triomino, where we have to go out. We've got to have the elbow here, and then it's got to do the elbow thing. This one's got to be an elbow, right? No, hold on. It doesn't have to be. Because it could go straight up, and then this one could bend down. Let's see. We got to have elbow land there. This can't move right because then we don't pick up a circle. So we've got to grab that. That's a different shape. Would not be an elbow because it'll break this fella here. So we've got to do that there. And then we have a special shape for special people at the bottom. Oh, there's a 1 I haven't done? Great. Oh my god. Okay, so every region contains exactly 1 of each symbol. So there's going to be 2 regions. One of them is going to be the double cross, and the other one's going to be the everything else. So how do I get all the symbols in a double cross? It's going to be this way, and then I'm going to grab everything else with that. Alright, cool. At least I can do some of these puzzles in less than 45 minutes. Rose Windows, Gemini, Delta. Alright. Alright. Okay. Let's see here. This shape is going to be interesting because I have to make it at least 2. I can't make it more than 3. The shape underneath it has to be at least 2, but they got to be different shapes. If this is 2, that's 3. If this is 3, that's 2. Now up here, I also have to make a different shape, and it has to reach a circle, so it's got to be 3. Minimum. It could be 4. It actually can't be 4 because then this is Gemini. How would I make 4 without touching 2? So we're going to say this is 3, this is 2. Makes that a 3. Means that this down here is also a 3. That's the only way to do it. So we're going to put a nice little single there. We've got to have a 3 here without touching more than 1 circle. Let's see. Down here we can't have a 3. So we have to have a 4. Reason is if we have a 1, doesn't touch a circle. If it's a 2, it would touch this circle and leave an empty space with no circle in it. A 3 would be the same as that. So we have to go up to 4 or something bad will happen. So we got to do that, which makes this a 1. Not much else to do. This can't be a 1, so it's going to be a 2. I think I'm doing this right. This can be a 2 just fine. This can be a 1 just fine. This can't be 2. It can't be 1 because that leaves an orphan cell. So it's got to be at least a 3. And in fact, it's got to be exactly a 3. Now this also has to be a 3. I'm going to make that red just for fun. Red's a fun color. Put that orange. Put a couple single things here. And then gotta have that. Yeah, cool puzzle. And we made it gold. That was an achievement. Decade of Glory. Guild 10 windows. Achievements will be fewer and farther between, as I have to do quite a lot of puzzles. I have to guild a lot of windows before I get the next one. There's still a lot of puzzles in the Forest Trailhead, which I'm not going to do now, am I? Do I want to do one more just for funsies? What if I went over here and did 1? I don't think I'd be able to finish 1 puzzle in this area. Maybe I'll finish this, right? No. Nope, not going to do it. Not going to do it. I think I'd end up just getting really mad. I was thinking I could just whittle away at that area because the area sucks balls. We're not going to do it. I'm going to actually stop here. It's been about half an hour and about as much as I can handle at this time of the day. So I'm going to say thanks so much for watching. And who knows, maybe I'll actually be able to get back to sleep and do something productive with my day. But otherwise, I'll see you in the next video. Have a good one. Bye.